DLD, Developmental Language Disorder. Have you come across this term? Is it familiar to you? If you're not really sure, you're not alone. Whilst it's a surprisingly common difficulty that both children and adults have, it's not commonly known about. And so in this video, I want to share with you a little bit about DLD and the number one hugest thing that you can do to support people who have DLD. DLD describes when someone has difficulty understanding language or talking, and this can affect all sorts of aspects of communication, from thinking about the sounds in words to coming up with the right vocabulary, stringing it all together, and then on top of that actually processing what other people are saying. DLD is surprisingly common. In a class of 30 children, around 2 are likely to have DLD. Because there's still a lot of work for us to do in raising awareness and understanding of DLD, sometimes these difficulties can be attributed to laziness or naughtiness. So you might hear people say, "He just doesn't pay attention," or "She never answers me when I call on her in class," or "She's always just messing around in the back and not applying herself." People who have DLD will describe it like people are speaking a foreign language to them, or like all the sounds and the words are kind of jumbled up before it gets to them. And when they're trying to talk, they might talk about how they just can't kind of get the words out, or they can't think through their thoughts clearly. So this can have a big impact. DLD can have an impact on literacy, learning, friendships, and emotional well-being. Just think about how fundamental communication skills are to how we participate in the world, how we share our ideas and our worries with others, and how we learn from everything that's going on around us. DLD can be diagnosed by a speech and language therapist, and lots of support can be put in place in partnership with a school. So this really emphasises the importance of us providing sufficient resources for SALT services and school services to provide the important intervention that children with DLD need. Now, you or I can't affect big funding decisions, but we can make DLD a bigger part of the general conversation. And in fact, making this video, I've had a few conversations with people about DLD. I'll take any excuse. What I'm struck by in conversation with people who have DLD is how the additional difficulty is created by the fact that people around them don't really understand what this means. And so in addition to these people having difficulties talking and expressing their ideas, they also are weighed down by the burden of needing to explain it to everyone around them to help those people understand them and how they can help. So the one thing that we can all do to help people who have DLD is to make it part of the general conversation, to build our own understanding and awareness of it, and so we can feel more confident about talking about it and knowing how to help those people who have it. Just in the same way that if someone is struggling with their reading, the question of dyslexia crops up in conversation. I hope that when someone is struggling with talking and learning in the classroom, in building friendships and participating in different situations, the question of DLD can crop up in conversation in thinking about how we can support that individual. Imagine a world in which someone who had this type of communication difficulty could say to the bus driver or the shelf stacker in the supermarket, "I have DLD, please could you speak more slowly?" Or, "I have DLD, please can you use simple words?" Yes, this is about early identification and effective intervention, but it's also about all of us walking through the world understanding that there is great neurodiversity all around us. And if we accept that some people might need extra time, some extra allowances, understanding and support, then surely we can all become a more kind, compassionate community. So if you want to help, and I know you do, thank you for sticking with me to the end, then what you can do is have a conversation today with someone about DLD. You could share this video with someone, and you could look at the Rattled website, which I'll link below, which provides all sorts of information about developmental language disorder, how we can improve our understanding and awareness of it, and how we can support those who have it. My name's Bryony Rust, I'm a speech and language therapist, and I share new videos every week. So if this was useful to you or someone you know, then hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week, okay? I'll see you then.